Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Publicly Buzzed on a Thursday night. What's going on? Getting ready to come at you tonight. We're going to be looking at, from 2 days ago. Sarah Boone has a new attorney. And we're going to be looking at the hearing that went down. Yeah, again, 2 days ago. I got it up here on Law and Crime Network, so got it set up to right when it happens. It should be perfect for about a show's length. But yeah, welcome in here, Jay. Thank you so much. I think that did work. If you just portaled some people in, a lot of people are in here. So thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing good, man. Everybody out there, please hit the old like ski. And I just put this on X on Twitter as well. Please share it out. Let people know that you're hanging out with Publicly Buzzed here tonight. I'm not covering a lot of trials at the moment. The one that I am mostly anticipating is this one right here, Sarah Boone. I know it's going to be short. They're saying it's going to be days long. We know how that goes. You never know exactly what's going to happen. But the fact that she does have a defense attorney now, probably it won't be very long. I mean, come on. But let's get in here. Thank you so much for hanging and banging. Coming at you.
Let's rock.
Yo, everybody, what's going on? Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of people in here, Jay, dude. That had to have worked. I don't think there'd been this many people just randomly here. Everybody that came in here tonight, hit the old subscription button. That's a different one. Thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate it. I do have some bad news, though, especially for the Buzz Nation. New people, welcome the hell in here. But the Buzz Nation, Dan's not here again. And I'm going to have to send some people out to go get Dan. But no, Dan's not here again. He's running a little bit short on time here tonight to let me know. But he did say that he would be here for Feral Friday tomorrow night. So we're going to hold him to that. I'm cracking one open because I'm going to need it tonight. Okay. Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone has a new defense attorney. And we're going to check him out here tonight. Making sure I got everything over here that I need to. Yes, I still got that up. Awesome. But yeah, everyone, welcome in here. Appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. If you would hit the like, that really does help us out. Yes, Dizzy, Dandy Savage. See, Dan's not going to be here. It's going to be a while before we see Dan again. But Dandy Savage is booked and ready to go, baby. Ready to go. Is that working? Did that pop up? Hold on. I want to make sure that's working. Put that in there. Boom, boom. There we go. Dizzy, what's up? Afton, what's up? Taryn Dusty, what's up? Irene, what's up? Wildside, Semi-Sharp, the Petty Paralegal. That's a new name, I think. Maybe I'm crazy. Awesome. You're already doing it right. Sharing some drinks out here. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Shelly, Pokemon, what's up? Nay, what's up? Nay coming back through. That's what I'm talking about. New name that's coming back through. Always a good sign. Holly Berry coming back through here. Appreciate it. Let's try this one. Garciela Gonzalez. Hey, hear from Jay. That did work, Jay. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the heads up about the channel. And from Australia, it looks like. Welcome the hell in here. I like it. Sub up. You're going to enjoy it. I hope. A little bit different. We're a little bit of a different true crime breed over here, but I think you'll enjoy it. Dixie's in the house. Ember Burns is in the house. You know what she's doing.
Hanging and banging.
Huh? One more time.
Hanging and banging.
Hanging and banging, brother. Deja Vu's in here. Just trying to get through everybody right quick. My God, we got a full house. Young Black Economist, Carrie. Joanne's out here. Dom's mom's out here. Jay, dude, I hope you're doing well, brother. Hope the new job's doing good, dude. Everybody. Dizzy in here's Modden. Michelle Salter, first name on the will here tonight because I saw that she became a member. New Buzzed and Confused member, and she is going to have access soon to a really cool video. But welcome the hell in here, first of all.
Welcome to the party, pal.
That's what I'm talking about, Michelle. She's been enjoying Murder Church. I'm sure of it. She's been hanging and banging with us every Sunday and even on Tuesdays, which is awesome. But she is the first name on the wheel here tonight. The wheel is already going, and if anybody doesn't know what the wheel is, I have a wheel that we do every episode, basically. And anybody that donates, becomes a member, there's a Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all the good stuff. Anything that is donated to this channel, you get put on a wheel. And once we get 12 people on that wheel, we spin it, and you have the opportunity to win a free t-shirt. And we have a lot of really cool shirts. I say we have the best merch in true crime, and I think a lot of people would agree as well with that statement. But yeah, you are on that wheel right now. And just starting out, we've got 4 people out the gate. Wildside's on here twice. Tiff Knox and Michelle Salter. Again, thank you so much, Michelle. Appreciate that. What else is going on in here? Oh shit, Afton Ford right out the gate. Before we even get to fucking crazy Boone over here, let's just hang out here for just a minute. Cracked one open. Afton Ford gifted out a membership, and Dizzy's grabbing that. Hell yeah.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
Talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, Dizzy. Dizzy, you're going to get to see a sweet video after Murder Church. If anybody that's not in the Patreon, there's a really cool video. I went and explored this old coal mining store, this old coal mining property. It's large. It's huge. It was built in 1928. It is now abandoned, and it is creepy as fuck. And that is coming for members only, and it's currently on the Patreon. I'll put the links in there soon. What else we got going on in here? Everybody's hanging out. Holy shit. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Anytime we get new members, we drop the beers right here in the chat. We drop the beers. A lot of people already know what the hell's going on and what's up. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nay, gifting out a membership. Semi Sharp grabbing that one. Hell yes. My God, we are rocking here tonight. I ain't even got to anything yet.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Shit. Lord, guys. Hit the wrong one, but we're going to dance a little bit.
Son of a bitch!
Damn. Damn. Drink's already out here? Shit, Nay. On that thing. Nay wants a shirt, and I can't blame her. Thank you so much for the gifted membership, and welcome in here, Semi Sharp. You're going to also get a sweet video after Murder Church on Sunday. And we got Joanne just showing off a little bit here. 14 months, hanging with my crew, regular out in these parts, again from Australia. We have a lot of love from Australia. I love Australia, quite frankly. I would love to visit Australia, and hopefully one day I can. And, yeah, man, thank you so much, Joanne. Absolute regular around these parts. I love to see it. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, and the Deja Vu's going to pop up a little bit here. 10 months as a member, hanging and banging. That's absolutely unbelievable. Wow. Wow. What's up, Strict 9? Holy shit. Tonight, guys, again, we are going to be looking at, just from a couple of days ago, if anybody that's been keeping up with Sarah Boone, this is one that we here at PubliclyBuzzed have been keeping up with since the very beginning of this. I started this channel in the true crime niche in November of 2022. Okay, we started covering the Idaho 4 Brian Koberger stuff, and one of the early things that we covered outside of that, while we still covered that regularly, was the Sarah Boone suitcase murder trial case. Yeah, it's going to trial, but that story, which is absolute madness. Yeah, Sarah Boone charged with the murder of George Torres Jr., zipping him up in a suitcase while she says they played hide and seek. And of course, anybody that's kept up with this has seen the graphic footage, I'm sure. And if you haven't, please don't go and check it out. Don't Google it. It will haunt your dreams. It will give you nightmares. She taunted this man as he died in a suitcase and was unable to breathe. And he was literally calling out, "Please let me out of the suitcase. I can't breathe." And she taunted him, and it was horrible. And she was heavily intoxicated, clearly in the video. You can hear it in her voice. But she went upstairs, went to sleep, either way, and he did not get out of the suitcase. He succumbed to the zipped up suitcase and died and suffocated. So now she is trying to do a little bit of a battered spouse angle, I believe, and she was just about to represent herself, which was going to go terribly, and somebody has now stepped up to represent her. And we're going to jump in here right now, basically as she is being seated in the courtroom. And again, guys, I'm going to keep an eye on everything. And here is the physical will. Again, it's a physical will that will be spun if we get 12 names here tonight. And I believe we've got about 7 more till we get there. But wow, everybody out in here tonight. I love it. Love to see it. Yeah, we got a full house. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeedy. One thing I need to do, I wasn't prepared for Dan not to be here, so let me get this off. Boom, let me get this off. Bada boom. I think I've got everything set up properly. We're going to jump right in here. Let me make sure the sound is right. And then, yeah, and one thing I do want to show off real quick, just anybody that's new. It looks like we might have a lot of new folks possibly in here, thanks to Jay again, my brother from another mother. The merch store, PubliclyBuzzed.com, right here, t-shirt, Meowder Church. This is a new shirt that was designed by Phil from Tahoe Toys. Awesome design. Play on the Murder Church. And angle that we got there. Hanging and banging shirt. You could come in here and get yourself a Drink the Kool-Aid. Again, it's a murder church play, publicly buzzed, the unsolved mysteries, the hottest shirt in true crime play as there as well. I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of cool fucking merch out there. But yeah, let's get in here. Let's see exactly what Sarah Boone is working with here. Let's go. Is there sound yet? Let me make sure. I think there just maybe no sound on the video, so let me get into some sound. I did want to show her out the gate. Look how tickled she is. Look at how elated she is. Look at how giggly she is. She's like a schoolgirl. What is happening? Okay. You murdered a man in one of the most vicious and stomach-turning videos I've ever seen in my freaking life. And again, I've been pretty brutal about her, with her on X, on social media. Admittedly, I'm pretty open about not liking Sarah Boone, basically because of what we have seen. But I do like that someone stepped up. I'm not against this attorney that stepped up and wants to represent her, because it would have been an absolute
Judge, I'm James Owens, and I'm
horrible. There comes the sound right now. It would have been an absolute shit show if she would have represented herself. I can't say that I'm not a little bit sad that it didn't happen, because that would have been highly entertaining to watch as well. As morbid as that is to say, her representing herself, she's already making a fucking mockery out of the system here in Florida with what she's been doing, in my opinion. All right. I know there's other opinions out there within true crime that, and maybe they're right legally, but I'm looking at this from, I'm not an attorney looking at this either. I'm just a person watching somebody that I know what they've done. I know what Sarah Boone did. I'm not going to be on the jury. I don't have to pretend like I don't know. I don't have to watch the trial and act like, because some of these trials, we don't know what the fuck's going on. Sure. Absolutely. This one is not that. Okay? Sarah Boone fucking sucks.
Morning, pleasure. Ms. Boone, good morning. Could you please state your, raise your right hand now. First, going to go ahead and swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the
Oh,
testimony
shit,
you're about to
Dixie.
give
Wow.
shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am, good morning. Could you state your
Yo,
full name
Lauren
and date of
popping in
birth
here.
for
What's
record?
up?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-7-7.
She's crazy.
Good morning, everyone.
But I'm happy. I'm going to chill out here.
Several
Hyped
different
up.
items. The first is the court's notice of hearing that was sent out last week. The first issue on that was addressing the viewing of the physical evidence here in open court. On August 5, the court entered an order setting forth certain deadlines and scheduling, including the viewing of the digital evidence no later than September 3, and the physical evidence viewing to take place here in open court on September the 3rd, and a schedule for objections thereafter. The digital evidence review took place on August 9th, and the August 23rd deadline for objections has since passed. On August 14th, the court was advised of an alternative arrangement and advised the state to file a notice reflecting when and where and how that review would have taken place. I didn't
see that. No, this is a good point. Southern Heathen. I think this is a new name also. I was glad at first about the new lawyer, but after his interviews on TV, he is vile. I did see him talking in an interview after this, and he seems very confused. Like, he doesn't seem like... I mean, there's no way he hasn't taken this for the publicity, right? Like, I don't know. Like, he, in the interview, I wish I could just find that random. I may look over here on the side while I'm watching this, and I'm sure we probably can't find it actually, but like, I don't know. It was weird, man. Like, he was like, I'm not sure if she's going to fire me. She may fire me. I may be the next one fired. Like, it's like, wait, what? Like, I mean, I don't know. Let me find this interview. It was strange. You make a good point.
Yes, Your Honor. We were not able to file the notice prior to today. However, on Friday, August the 30th, we were able to have that evidence review of the physical items with Ms. Boone at the Orange County Jail.
Okay, all right. Ms. Boone, can you confirm if in fact that viewing took place?
It took place.
Okay, all right, very good. And who did it take place between the state, yourself, and was Mr. Lane with Prison Break Investigations a part of that viewing?
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Anybody that's watched the, and I'm sure most of us have in here, have watched the actual body cam footage when she was initially arrested. She called her husband before she called 911, her ex-husband, to come over. And this guy luckily has a brain and did not walk through the threshold. He realized what the fuck was going on and didn't even go inside and freaked out. And he might have called 911. I think she did, because they were getting her to do trying to resuscitate him. I do remember that now. But what the fuck, like.
For hearing this morning was defendant's motion for payment of costs and appointing neuropsychologist to assist the defendant in preparation of the defense. That was filed on the 14th. The next day, August 15th, JSCS filed a response to the motions for payment of costs and appointment of a neuropsychiatrist. Paragraph 10 of the JSC's response reflects that the JSC will not be participating in this hearing. Mr. Owens, good morning. What is your position, sir, with regard to Ms. Boone's pro se motion for costs? Are you adopting that motion?
I'd like to abandon that one, but substitute it in for two other motions for the appointment of a forensic psychologist, Dr. Julie Harper, who was on this case previously. I believe she saw Sarah Boone about 6 times at the Orange County Jail. She was working under the direction of the original counsel, Mr. Padilla, who I believe had the case for about 2.5 years. And I think it was set for trial, ready to go, and then at the last minute he withdrew. I tried to call him a couple of times, haven't been able to find out what went on. I have talked to Ms. Cashman, the last lawyer, but we don't need this neuropsychologist that Ms. Boone had requested, but we do need a reappointment of the forensic psychologist, Dr. Julie Harper. I've spoken with her a couple of times last week. I text messaged her 4 or 5 times this weekend. She is in agreement to handle the case, to reopen her file. She has sent me her records. I have reviewed them. I've met with my client. I think my client meets the criteria for battered spouse. I believe Dr. Harper, after she gets a chance to re-engage with my client, spend some time with my client.
Like, Sarah Boone truly thinks she's, like, ultimately innocent. That's what's crazy about it. Like, I do think she's out of her mind to an extent, right? Like, she's manipulative and she's clearly not actually crazy, but that doesn't mean she's not fucking crazy. Like,
she's going to be of that opinion.
It's going to be like,
I believe it's necessary for the appointment of a crime scene reconstructionist and death investigator.
Like the the opening statement's going to be, she zipped this dude in a suitcase and went to bed. I'm going to sit down now. I'm going to waste my breath.
Dr. Michael Berkeley, who is from my area, Pensacola, is who I am recommending to be appointed.
What was his name again, sir? I'm sorry.
Michael Berkeley. I filed these judges yesterday or last night. I don't know if they're in the court file yet.
I did not see them this morning. I did see the motion to dismiss.
Can I push them in?
Yes. State, have you seen them?
I just saw them briefly this morning prior to the
Morning, sir.
prior to the hearing.
Thank you. The only thing I saw in the court file, Counselor, when I was prepping last night was the motion for statement of particulars, the call on September 2. I have not yet seen these motions.
Judge, I also filed a motion for additional discovery. I don't know if that made it through as well.
Was that also filed yesterday, sir, sometime in the evening?
It was filed at 8:30 yesterday morning.
Oh,
So I
shit.
have a motion for
I
statement
didn't know
of
that.
particulars filed at 8:10 yesterday, but I do not have the motion for additional discovery filed 8:34.
I don't know why the court was not able to post that, because they were filed one right after the other.
One's in the court file, the other 3 aren't. They were all filed yesterday, 19.
Well, one thing in the interrogation, she's continuously saying that his family, hate her, and she has problems with them. And if you remember, she just keeps saying, like, Are you going to tell them? Do I have to tell them? Who's going to tell them? Like, she's freaked out about the entire situation. They're basically like, listen, you're staying here. Like, I don't know what you're worried about, bitch. Like,
Certain things auto-populate and certain things have to be accepted.
Okay.
The statement of particulars and the additional discovery were filed yesterday morning. The motion to appoint the crime scene reconstructionist and death investigator and the motion to appoint the forensic psychologist was filed at 6:10 p.m.
I do see that. As the court previously identified, JCS chose not to participate in this morning's hearing by virtue of their response filed on August 15th. They are not here. Your motions for these various experts report that they were sent to all persons on the service list through the e-portal. But I don't know how I can address these this morning without having JCS here. So I will endeavor to coordinate a hearing for these as soon as practical. I understand these need to be addressed. Be advised, this is a trial week for the court, as is next week, but I will do my best to endeavor to try to get these heard as soon as possible.
Judge, and I filed my notice of appearance on Friday,
Yes, sir.
and I've spoken with Dr. Berklin 2 or 3 times this weekend.
Get you on the list
The
here.
state was able to provide me with some discovery. I think once I filed my notice,
Thank you
early
so much
Friday
for this.
morning,
Appreciate
I
it.
think the state provided a lot of discovery to me.
Six
I provided
names.
that to Dr. Berklin.
6 names
I
to go to a
believe he
spin if we
has,
get there.
the autopsy. We cannot find the autopsy photographs, which he says are critical. We cannot find the crime scene photographs, which he says are critical to his evaluation. So I know time is of the essence. We've got people working on it, but there is some additional evidence that we need.
State, what's the status of the provision of the autopsy photographs and the crime scene photographs and provided them to counsel?
We provided all of those things previously, obviously, to the defendant, which has been greatly discussed already. When Mr. Owens' notice of appearance came on the case, I instructed my assistant to go ahead and send copies of the document discovery, which is easily available to him, just so that he could quickly have that and not have to worry about getting that from his client or whatever. I believe we also sent notice to as well that if he wants additional copies of the autopsy and crime scene photos or any other pieces of digital evidence in the case, that he just needs to provide USB.
Dom's mom with the $2.99. That's a $3 holler and a fist bump. Thank you so much, Dom's mom. And getting on the wheel, we are at number 7 right now. Let's go. Thank you so much, Dom's mom. Appreciate that. Let me give you a little love real quick with a little bit of...
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
And you can go ahead and burn that for him. Again, this is in addition to what's already been provided to the defendant in this case.
Okay, do we have a time frame where we might be able to get that information to him?
If he wants to come back to my office, we can do it this morning / this afternoon.
Mr.
Your
Owens?
office in the building?
Yes, it's in the courthouse.
Right there. Come out the front door, make a left.
Okay. I don't have a USB with me, but I'll find one. This morning, we'll get that done.
Okay, I appreciate you both. With regard to the motion for additional discovery filed yesterday, September 2, 8:34 a.m., State will give the opportunity to review this.
I just reviewed it just now here in court this morning. The state was going to request an opportunity to respond to both this motion and also the motion to the statement of particulars formally and in writing, given the lack of time we've had to prepare to make a formal response.
Sure. And how much time, Counselor, would you like in order to file a response to the motion for statement of particulars and the motion for additional discovery?
I would ask for at least a week.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, all right. The state shall file a response to both the motion for statement of particulars and
Yeah,
motion
this
for
was from 2 days ago, Kai. This was super recent.
additional discovery no later
The one before that, the one before this, she was representing herself, and it was a train wreck. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, as you would imagine. I mean, She's in no position to do that. The Petty Paralegal, again, new name, love fucking seeing it. $3 holler and getting on the wheel. Trying to get herself a shirt, I see. Good luck. Good luck. I love to see it. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Close of business 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September the
Dude, I think I remember this as well. And I've got this kind of messed up to where, hold on, fuck. Blah, blah, blah. I need to make it a little smaller. There we go. Steve, it wasn't the first time either. She put her son in a suitcase too, thinking it was funny. I do remember this as part of, I don't remember where I heard it, but I do remember that, Dizzy. So that doesn't look good either.
10th. And if hearings are necessary, we'll coordinate those. With regard to the defendant's pro se motion for payment of costs and appointing neuropsychologists to assist the defendant in preparation of the defense, the court's going to deny that as moot based on Mr. Owens' representation.
Hopefully this dude is smart enough. What's his name? James Owen? Hopefully this dude is smart enough to tell her, cut that shit out. Like, if this is for the judge, if this is thinks she's getting one over on the state, cut that shit out. Like, that has no place
with regard to the motion to appoint crime scene reconstructionist and death investigator and motion to appoint forensic psychologist, state review intending on filing a response to these.
No, we're going to take no position on those points.
Okay, all right. I will have Ms. Barrios, I'll ask the clerk to see if we can push these through the portal today, so that Ms. Barrios can reach out to JICS and see if we can get a time frame on when they may be able to provide a position statement.
Mom, and again, I know we have a lot of new folks in here tonight. There is no limit on the wheel. You could fill this thing up as much as you want until we get to 12 names. So Dom's mom coming back through again, doubling her chances tonight for a t-shirt. And hell yeah, Dom's mom, appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hell yeah, get in here.
Response to this motions, and then we'll coordinate hearing respectfully.
Judge, I'm going to want to add one other forensic psychologist, make a request. You know, I want to make sure that there's not an issue about my client Sarah Boone and I manufacturing the defense. And there's a second doctor, Dr. Michael Brandon. I don't spell that for me, sir. Dr. Michael Brandon.
I
don't know. I keep pausing here, but I do that a lot. There's a lot of commentary here. I mean, if you want to watch this, you'd be watching this alone. But imagine suffocating in a freaking suitcase. This is from Nay. Horrific. Absolutely. And again, I don't recommend anybody watching this video. I've watched it numerous times. Just being in the true crime sphere, it pops up randomly, and the thing is playing, and you're already in it, and it's bad. I think I've only watched it fully once. I will say that. It's bad. It's horrible. It's every horror movie you've ever seen rolled into one times 1,000 because it's fucking real and it's horrible. It's not good and it's very findable. Don't do it. I would recommend do not do it. But there's no way that's not going to be played for this jury. So, true crime is a wild space. Dom's mom, is that another one? Am I crazy? Dom's mom. She's on here a third time. That's a $5 holler. And that's a boss right there. Look at that. Oh my God. Dom's mom just said, fuck you to everybody. She said, you know what? It's my shirt. It's my shirt tonight.
It's a B-R-A-N-N-O-N.
Thank you, Dom. I appreciate that.
He was the forensic psychologist in the Marsha Thompson case. That was the Palm Beach County first-degree murder where she shot and killed her husband.
I appreciate that. Let's see where we're at.
He was laying on the couch and was acquitted.
11. Let me make sure I'm right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more till we get a spin here, baby.
That was a 2019 case, so that took a while to get to trial. But Dr. Brandon testified that a battered woman's experiences affect her perception of imminent danger. And that's going to be a question in this case, whether or not Sarah Boone, at the time of her actions, was facing imminent danger. In addition, Dr. Brandon...
There we go. Laura getting on this son of a bitch, and a possibility of getting a shirt. $10 holler. Thank you so much. Fuck yeah. That's a first-time wheel right there. Appreciate that. Fuck yeah. Nice. And that's a spin right now. Dom's mom even coming through after that, starting up a new will. So that's how fast it happens. Like, you never know what's going on. Hold on. Let me get this in here. I always try to write it immediately or I will definitely forget. So yeah, give me 1 second here. Thank you so much. And we have our first will spin ready to rock and roll. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Lauren coming through right now. And again, she finished out the first will of the night. And yeah, good luck. You might want one of these dope-ass t-shirts. I'll go ahead and start filling that out.
Said victims of repeat violence may fear death in situations others would not.
And
I've tried to reach out to Mr. Brandon this weekend unsuccessfully. And my intent is to reach out to him. I'm hoping he's going to respond. He claims on his website that he responds within 48 hours. I will.
And if you're not following Pop Crime TV, you done fucked up, okay? Because Lauren Conlon is fucking awesome, okay? She's actually, first of all, she's a professional. Let's just say that. She's actually a professional, and she knows what she's doing. She gets incredible guests. And it's pretty mind-blowing, actually. So you're going to have a lot of fun. So what you can do is I'll actually pull her channel up here and I'll put it in the chat as well. But I think you can also click on the name, and I think there's a way to actually just start following her. But I will also get her information because, yeah, she fucking rules and she's super cool. And yeah, you're not going to want to miss her content, though. I'm just saying.
That's the only other witness I'm going to need an appointment for a forensic psychologist. So 2 forensic psychologists, Dr. Julie Harper, Dr. Michael Brandon, and then the crime scene reconstructionist, Dr. Michael Burton. And then in addition, I would like Billy Lane, who's seated in the audience. He is the investigator on the case. Because of the claims that we're making that she's a battered woman, we need evidence to corroborate that. So there's a lot of history between her and Mr. Torres involving the apartment complex.
This may actually pop up over here. Hold on, I'm trying to go to her channel. Oh, there we go.
Which is in Winter Park. That was 4 years ago. The ownership of that apartment complex has changed.
Damn, and she's about to hit 3K also. That shit happens fast. That shit happens super fast. Hell yeah. Yeah, give her a follow if you're not.
So it's going to be somewhat problematic trying to get information about who all the tenants were that may have witnessed some of the violence involved in these two, as well as we're trying to get together the 911 calls that Sarah made and others made about the disturbances between that couple. So he's got a lot of work to do as it relates to running down witnesses. In addition, we're trying to get arrest reports of the prior domestic violence arrest of Mr. Torres, as well as the officers involved and their body cams to see if there's any evidence on the body cams that would show injuries to Ms. Boone. So we've got a lot of work to do, but I believe it's necessary for us to prove a viable defense of battered spouse syndrome, that we have cooperation. It's going to take a little bit, but I do need the appointment of that expert. He tells me he's already on. I'm going to have to file something else because it was under Sarah Boone. Now, as the attorney of record, I'm going to have to file something. He says he's still got plenty of hours to work under that original cap. So I'll be filing something today or tomorrow as it relates to that. But that's the only other. Of course, I've been retained, so I'm not going to make any claims for attorney's fees. I'm not making any claims for travel costs, just for these witnesses.
The JCS has already approved, I believe, $10,000 in investigation fees and $1,000 for other costs associated with Mr. Lane. That was at one of our previous hearings. Now, that was when Ms. Boone was representing herself pro se. I can't imagine JCS may change their position with regard to those costs since they've already said yes, but file it and we'll try to tee it up for hearing as well to see if they have any position, or it could just be, the order can be modified to extend to you as counsel for Ms. Boone.
Thank you.
All right. That takes us now then to your motion for continuance file that was filed on August 30th. Courts had the opportunity to review that motion. Any other argument or statements with regard to that motion? Mr. Owens.
Judge, I reviewed the state case law relating to continuances and the abuse, palpable abuse of discretion when the court does not grant it, but it is critical to my theory, our theory of defense, battered spouse syndrome. And as you know, that takes time to develop, especially when the motion basically speaks for itself, but we're in a time crunch. Essentially, the trial is set for October the 7th. I have to provide a notice of intent to rely on battered spouse syndrome 30 days prior, which is September 7th, which falls on a Saturday, so I believe that gives me till the next business day, Monday, September 9th. But still, 6 days for Dr. Julie Harper to come back out and visit with Ms. Boone, coupled with this other potential forensic psychologist, Dr. Michael Brandon. He's not going to have time to do that. They've got to establish a rapport with her before they can run the testing, spend the time with her. And it involves some extensive history. Obviously, that couple was together for 3 or 4 years. I still haven't peeled back all the layers. I've tried to go through it, but as you know, something like that is going to involve several instances of domestic.
This is basically all boiling down to them trying to extend, trying to push the trial out even further. And, the judges...
It did not involve law enforcement. That was just between the two. So we've been going through that. We're trying to get some medical records where she was stabbed by Mr. Torres in the leg and some other evidence. It's just going to take some time, coupled with the fact that I've got to get Mr. Lane to get all this other objective evidence, witnesses, and 911 calls and arrest reports, and provide that to the 2 forensic psychologists for them to help formulate their opinion as to whether she is, in fact, a battered spouse. In good faith, I believe she qualifies based on my spending 3.5 hours with her Labor Day, yesterday, as well as the other 4 times that I've met with her. I have not spoken to Mr. Cordelia, but I believe that was probably going to be where he was going to go. I was not, involved. I don't believe you were involved at that time. Or may have been.
Not me.
Okay.
My predecessor was.
But I think it was almost ready to go. And for whatever reason, he withdrew the last
Camera just focused on Sarah Boone.
And then here we are. But I think it's prejudicial if we're not allowed to present the defense that we believe we have a viable claim. And I would respectfully ask, I'm not asking for, I think most times you come on a homicide case, you would need at least 6 months. I'm asking for 1 trial cycle, 2 trial cycles sometime at the end of the year or first of next year. I can be ready. I think that will give enough time for our experts to visit with Ms. Boone and formulate their opinions. I'm sure the state's going to want to take the deposition. I think they may have a right to hire their own forensic expert to go out and interview to see if they agree. But that's just going to take a little bit of time, Judge. I'm thinking 2 or 3 months, and we'll be ready to go. I'm not asking for a long continuance. The good thing about it is Mr. Cordelia has done a lot of the work. My understanding he's taken just about all the depositions. I believe they've been transcribed. I haven't gone through all this.
Like what Owens is asking for, in his position, isn't even that crazy, right? Like, I don't even blame him. That's his job. But the position that Sarah Boone currently finds herself in is because of her own doing. It's because of years, 4.5 years of acting the way she's acted with numerous attorneys that have been appointed to her by the state, which again costs money, taxpayer money. So ultimately, the people in Florida who was paying for the last 4 years of Sarah Boone to be like, I don't like this guy. Oh man, no, not this dude. Oh no, over and over and over again, until she found herself completely fucked in a spot to where she was going to have to represent herself, and then she had one hearing and realized, oh shit. And again, she is very creative. In the letters that she sent to the judges, she is not dumb, but that doesn't mean she isn't crazy. Once again.
She's got the 2 banker's boxes. She has not gone through all this discovery. We've tried, but we have not made it. My understanding is a lot of the 2-hour interrogation with the Sheriff's Department has been transcribed. I haven't reviewed that, but we do have a problem with that interrogation. Now, that's why I made the request about the policy. Our policy in my county, Santa Rosa County, is a little bit different. And based on my discussions with her, we feel like I'm going to need to file some motions relating to that. So because of that, but ultimately because, yes, could I be ready for trial on October 7th? I believe I could, but not without the battered spouse defense, because I don't believe my experts would be ready. And so that's instrumental in our defense.
State, do you have any position?
I guess the state would just respond to a few things. Part of this battered spouse defense has been previously investigated with several of Ms. Boone's previous attorneys, and in fact, the state did retain an expert, Dr. Tanya Warner, who's on the state's witness list in this case, in anticipation of a potential rebuttal of an attempted battered spouse defense. The state's position would be that we would impose a continuance at this time. However, the state's not opposed to setting another status hearing sometime next week, possibly, where we could address this and to see if there has been any movement, anything that would either change the state's position or potentially the court's position as well.
I don't think the state's thinking it through, Judge, because if we wait a week, I've got to file the notice of intent to rely on the battered spouse on Monday. We can't wait a week that the time has expired. If the judge doesn't continue it today, he wants to have a conference next week, but it's too late.
I agree.
What's your response to the rule requiring these battered spouse or battered wife syndrome defense 30 days prior to trial?
You have to give it.
Right, but I mean, clearly when that rule was created, it contemplated that there would be sufficient time to prepare for that defense within 30 days of trial, which is why they gave 30 days, which is why the Florida Supreme Court said it, 30 days, not 60, not 90, not 120.
But in good faith, you can't file a notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome if you don't have a supporting psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist, that makes that claim. I just can't say, hey, we're going to rely on it, and I'm putting you on notice. I've got to have some kind of authority. I'm not an expert. I think she meets the criteria, but I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I can't make that opinion. I've got to have an opinion from an expert before I can file that in good faith. I can't do it without Dr. Harper. She needs more time. Dr. Brandon needs more time.
All right, thank you. State, anything else?
No.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Mr. Owens, it seems like you've already started to dive into the case and what the court file has reflected. So clearly you've reviewed what is in the court file and the history of this case.
Yes.
I'm sure you've read the court's June 28th order, which was extensive as to the history of this case, multiple lawyers that Ms. Boone has gone through, the reasons for the non-conflicted out lawyers' bases for withdrawal, and why the court ultimately made a decision that Ms. Boone had forfeited her right to court-appointed counsel by her actions, or alternatively waived her right to court-appointed counsel by virtue of her actions. This case has been pending for some time. You advised in your motion to continue that you met with Ms. Boone on 4 different occasions, that you just met with her yesterday for 2.5 hours. You were aware of what the order identified, which was in paragraph 6 of the order in the judge portion, that trial specially set for October 7th, 2024, and that it would be not continued for any reason, absent extraordinarily good cause, and such extraordinarily good cause would not include the retention.
It was like the breeze was catching his pants.
I saw that. In this case, when you undertook this assignment knowing that you were not being appointed, and that by your own representation you're doing this free of charge on a pro bono basis and not seeking recompensation for any lodging or travel. You knew what the deadlines were for the court. With regard to any of the experts, there have been multiple prior experts in this case. You already identified Dr. Julie Harper, a forensic psychologist. You advised that she's met with the defendant on 6 different occasions. She was appointed back on August 3 of 2020. Under Mr. Padilla's representation of Ms. Boone, at no point in time did Mr. Padilla file a Category A witness list disclosing Ms. Dr. Harper as a testifying expert, and as you astutely pointed out, this matter was days, if not weeks, away from being tried when Mr. Padilla moved to withdraw based on the reasons outlined in the court's June 28th order. Thereafter, Dr. Charles Heller, another forensic psychologist, was appointed on February 3rd, 2022, and again on March 1, 2022. No Category A witness list was ever disclosed with regard to Mr. Heller. Then Winston Hobson had an undisclosed expert that had met with Ms. Boone, as addressed in open court on February 9, 2024. And as Mr. Hobson put it, that expert was not meeting with what Ms. Boone had desired or requested of that expert. There was another expert psychologist that was appointed by Patricia Cashman on February 28, 2024, who had expertise in battered spouse and or battered wife syndrome. There were also Dr. Linda Dore, 2 times sought to be appointed, once by Attorney Bankowitz. Dr. Dore specializes in battered wife or battered spouse syndrome. Once by Dr. Bankowitz Mr. Bankowitz, on July 17, 2023 again, by Attorney Hobson on January 1, 2024. Based on the Florida Supreme Court decisions in Middleton v. State, 220 Southern 3rd 1152 and 1176, and Bargo v. State, 221 Southern 3rd 562 at 569, there's a 2-part test determining the need of experts. We're not going to be addressing that today, as you've sought to file these other motions that I haven't had really the opportunity to address. And JCS is not here and had the opportunity to review those. In Ramos v. State, 75 Southern 3rd, 1277, at pinpoint 1281, by the Florida 4th DCA in 2011, citing to Lawson v. State.
Madeline in the house tonight. What are you doing?
Also by the Florida 4th
Banging,
DCA
baby.
in 2004. In that case, defendant Ron.
I just chugged the fuck out of this beer. I'm going to go upstairs, use the bathroom. Judge is going to keep rolling here. We still got a minute. Will Spin is going to close out the show. Thank you all so much. Let's go. Thank you all. Seriously.
Defense counsel
Awesome show.
at least 4 times while this case was pending, with the latest change to counsel occurring 2 to 3 months before the actual trial date. There's no record evidence showing that any of Ramos's previous attorneys had provided ineffective assistance, and the defense had already moved for 4 continuances to prepare for trial. Similar to the Ramos case, Ms. Boone has played a prominent role in shortening the preparation time for trial, as set forth in the court's June 28th order. This case has already been continued 16 times. As of the date of your filing of your notice of appearance on August 30th, this case has been pending for 4 years, 6 months, and 4 days. On June 7th, this case was specifically set for trial on October 7th, and the June 28th order by the court specifically speaks for itself and evidences how Ms. Boone played a prominent role in shortening the time for preparation for trial when her 8th attorney, Ms. Cashman, withdrew. Ms. Boone reached the point where her right to adequate time for preparation of trial is counterbalanced by the right to the effective administration of justice. As of August 30th, when the notice of appearance was filed, there were 37 days until trial commencing in this matter. Considering the prejudice of the denial, Ms. Boone has already availed herself to 4 different attorneys that were not conflicted out, Padilla, Bankwitz, Hobson, and Cashman, and only has herself to blame for the withdrawal of those 4 attorneys based on the representations in those motions and the findings in the court's June 28th order. Discovery has been reviewed with Ms. Boone by prior counsels, as established by counsel's representations in various hearings, and prior counsel's motions for attorney's fees, all of which were filed in the month of August of 2024. Ms. Boone has had the discovery in her possession since August 5, 2024. The digital discovery that the state seeks to admit at trial was provided to Ms. Boone on August 9. Although you are not court appointed, sir, the court's done its own research with regard to your expertise. You've been barred since October 15, 1986, with a duly elected public defender of the First Judicial Circuit in the state of Florida from 2009 to 2012. You've tried over 100 cases to verdict throughout your career. You've met with Ms. Boone on 4 occasions, as outlined in your motion, not including the meeting that you had with Ms. Boone yesterday. As to the battered spouse syndrome defense, you still have time to file the appropriate notice in accordance with the rule. In considering all the factors as set forth in terms of the state 311 Southern 3rd 185 at pinpoint 189, 42nd DCA 2020, your motion for continuance is denied. Matter of this trial is still set for October 7th. We will have pre-trial the 6th to 27th. Pre-trial in this matter, or trial case management will still be set for September 26th at 9 a.m.
Judge, a couple of things. Number one, I have a full practice. I've got a docket day this afternoon in Santa Rosa County before Circuit Judge Scott Duncan. I've got 12 clients that are pending. I've got other people covering it, but I do have a full docket. If we set some of these hearings involving my motions, could I be allowed to appear by Zoom?
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
The only request that I would have, sir, is the rules of general practice require a notice regarding your appearance. If you could just file a motion and provide a form order, I'll sign it and you can appear virtually. There's no reason for you to drive all the way down from Santa Rosa County for all these hearings when we can appear virtually. JACS, I imagine, will be appearing virtually for some of these motions with regard to the experts. So as long as you file the notice in advance, sir, I've got no problems with that.
That's what I'm talking about, Tiff. That's what I'm talking about. Sloppy Joe. I ain't had a Sloppy Joe in so damn long. I'm going to make a Sloppy Joe.
Judge, in that pre-trial order, it mentioned, I thought, that the state attorney was supposed to meet with the defendant and the defendant's investigator and review all the digital evidence from the order. That's the way I read it. They were supposed to sit there all together and watch every potential video exhibit the state was going to intend to introduce at trial. That has not happened. I think today was the deadline for that. I don't mind extending that because I'm going to need to look at the evidence.
With regard to the digital, the deadline, you are correct, sir. The deadline was today, based on the August 5 order. If it did not happen before then, as I outlined at the beginning, there was a change to that process. A thumb drive was provided in open court to Mr. Lang on August 9. He then provided it to Ms. Boone, a thumb drive of the specific digital evidence that the state is seeking to admit at trial, based on the witness and exhibit list that was filed under seal on August 9. Ms. Boone had the opportunity to review that information at that time.
All right, I'm going to ask for more time for me to review the digital exhibits they intend to introduce. I don't know if they've been redacted. I don't know if they're the originals, but I'm going to need to look at that. You know, I went to the jail yesterday. I had to let them know in advance that I was coming. I believe my secretary had emailed them and said I wanted to bring in my laptop and my phone to view evidence and whatnot. I was not allowed to bring in my laptop and phone yesterday for 3.5 hours. So I didn't get done a lot of the things that I wanted to get done within that period of time. Probably would have stayed there a lot longer if I would have had that capability. So I would ask for some more time to be able to look, for me to look through the digital evidence as to what they're, I assume it's being redacted. I know some of the audio in terms of clients, my comments my client made, comments the officers made, some of it is, in my opinion, improper to be presented before the jury. So I'd like some extra time to be able to do that.
State?
I'm not certain, is he asking for a continuance again? What is the extra time that he's seeking?
What is it you're asking for? Extra time to do what?
The way I understand the order, I'm looking at paragraph 4 of the scheduling order and notice of hearings that, Judge, you signed August the 5th. Paragraph 4, the state's digital evidence will be reviewed with the state's investigator, the defendant's investigator, no later than September 3rd, 2024. This evidence viewing can be done in advance of September 3rd deadline. The state shall provide the defendant USB drive with the station. They never viewed it with my client in its entirety. As the order states, they were to do by today. So the state attorney has failed to comply with the court's order. I'm saying I haven't had a chance to view it either. Can we reset that deadline?
Right here, hold on. Right here, Sarah Boone thinks it's going to happen.
On August 9th, Mr. Owens, we had a different hearing. And at that hearing, we addressed the digital discovery review. Mr. Lang was here. There was a USB provided in open court. And the August 9 order and notice of hearing identifies a change to that August 5 order. Specifically in paragraph 4, prison break investigations. By and through investigator Billy Lane shall take possession and custody of the USB jump drive which contains the state's digital evidence. tendered in open court on August 9, 2024, and shall provide same to Major Malik X. Muhammad at the Orange County Jail today, August 9. Paragraph 6, prison break investigation shall file with the court a notice reflecting that the discovery in the USB jump drive, which contains the state digital evidence, was provided to Major Malik X. Muhammad at the Orange County Jail, including the date and time of the transfer. Such a notice was provided by Mr. Lane and filed in the court file. It was discussed at that August 9 hearing as to the revising of the digital evidence schedule. Paragraph 8 states that on August 14th, 2024, 1:30 p.m., a hearing will be held, courtroom 12A, regarding defendant's review of the USB jump drive, which contains the state's digital evidence. The defendant's August 7th letter to the court, provided to the court on August 9, and the media's participation in the physical evidence viewing on September 3, 2024. The pertinent case law is attached. On August 14th, we had a hearing, we discussed that, and we identified that she had the deadline until August 23rd to make any objections. Now, under the original scheduling order, which said this matters, which on August 5, which set the schedule for when there would be deadlines for objections, those would be extended by good cause shown. Are you seeking at this point in time to extend the deadline for a period for objections which has since expired?
Yes.
Okay. State?
No objection.
Okay. How much time would you like, sir, in order to review the state's digital evidence that it seeks to admit into evidence and tender any objections?
Well, I've got to go buy a jump drive. I've got to take it down to his office. He's going to give me that evidence. Obviously, I need to review it with my client. I've got a flight out of here around, I think, 4 o'clock. I don't know if I can get it done by then, but I don't see the necessity of an issue maybe a week prior to trial. Whatever that is, a week prior to that Monday, October the 7th, the week prior.
State?
I'm amenable to setting a status hearing that week.
Here's what we're going to do. We'll address any objections to any of the discovery when we have trial case management on the 26th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Anything else, Attorney Jones?
Give me 1 minute.
Sure.
Yeah, he doesn't seem bad. I mean,
State, anything else?
he's making arguments that are right for her case and for him personally to represent her.
Not this time, Your Honor.
What sucks is he's in the position he's in because of everything that's happened. I mean, he knew what he's getting into. That's the bottom line here.
We'll work dutifully to, it's already done? Excellent. I'll have Ms. Barrios,
It's hard to dig out
my
of there.
judicial assistant, forward these to JCS and see if we can coordinate a hearing. State will have till close of business September 10th to file responses to motion for statement of particulars and motion for additional discovery. Parties having no other business before the court. Y'all can have a fabulous day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, sir.
Can I have a word with Sarah?
Absolutely.
And the fist bump. The fist bump got me to tweet that out. I did tweet out the fist bump, and I said, this motherfucker. This motherfucker. I don't know. Give me that. You don't want to stab nobody with that. That's what she just said. Come on, we're going back. We're going back right now. Yeah, stop acting like you're doing. No, get out the door. Just kicks her out. I don't know. I hate Sarah Boone personally. I have a lot of anger just from everything that's happened. I don't like the way she's treated this entire thing. But we're going to see. We're getting closer. I think it's going to happen. I think we're actually there. That's awesome. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Well, what we have right now, folks, is a wheel spin. Let's get in here and get this thing rocking and rolling. Now, I will say, new folks that are in here, normally it's not this ghetto. I normally have a nicer camera, which is currently on the fritz. I'm trying to figure that out. I've got a connection thing coming tomorrow that I hope fixes it. But I'm on currently the Logitech just cam, just the webcam, that is normally set up looking at this wheel exclusively. So normally I have this thing set up on its own little stand, but currently we're doing a ghetto style and I'm just spinning it. So good luck, everyone. Let's rock. Make sure it's tight. All right, let's go. Good luck. Joanne. That's a Joanne right there. Oh, shit. I think she crashed out on us, but congratulations, Joanne. Let me get her in here, just so I don't forget, first and foremost. Get her in the winning circle in my list here. Joanne. Hell yeah. Nice. Is she still in here? I think she crashed out on us. Well, congratulations, Joanne. I'll give you some love anyways. Maybe you should watch on the replay. Huh? What are we doing? Maybe you should watch on the replay. Joanne's always good. Joanne's always awesome. She rules. She's fucking cool as hell, huh?
Respect my house. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's cool. Next time she's in here, which will probably be tomorrow night. I think she hangs out on Feral Fridays. I will say this. If you guys are not familiar with Feral Friday, please come through tomorrow night. Same time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on YouTube. That's when the show will start, but it will be heading over to a different app, website, kick.com/publiclybuzzed, and we'll be doing something. You're going to want to come through and check it out. The last couple of weeks, we've been watching these old Cops VHS tapes, Too Hot for TV, and they're pretty gnarly. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We'll probably take a break from that, and I'll have those just randomly sprinkled out through a Feral Fridays in the future. But one thing I would say right now, jump in the old Patreon. It's $5 a month. It's not too much. I'm trying to get better at posting more content. I just now posted a 22-minute little mini documentary. I went to this historic old mining company. It's called the Itman Company Store, and basically anybody that is it's deep in West Virginia mountains. Anybody that doesn't know, back in the old days, basically, there's different ways to look at this, but it was almost essentially people that worked in the mines were kind of like slaves to the company store, right? That's where you got your money. That's where you got your goods. It was an old saying, you could get anything you ever wanted at the company store except for a car. And why was that? They didn't want you to escape. Get in there, check it out. Me and my buddy went and checked and did that. And my buddy, he does this for a living. He's a normal YouTuber. Check out John from Appalachia. He's the fucking man. And yeah, going to be trying to do some more stuff like that. But I will say this, anybody that got membered up tonight, and all the members that we have here, which is a lot, we have a lot of beautiful people here that are members here on YouTube, you're going to be getting that Sunday After Murder Church. So Sunday After Murder Church, you're going to be getting that little mini creepy documentary. That it's not even a documentary, it's us walking. We literally drove there or walking. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you'd call this. It's a fucking crazy video. Hell yeah. Thank y'all so much. It's been an amazing show. You guys are unbelievable. Lauren, thank you so much for coming in here. I'm gonna have to get Lauren on here. Lauren on Publicly Buzzed? That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. I haven't had a guest on here in a while, an outside guest, let's say that. There for a while, Feral Friday used to be guest only. I've actually used to have a wild guest. And Lauren is pretty fucking dope. I think she'd be cool to have on here. Thank you all so much. Love you all. Again, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Dandy Savage will be here. My brother will be returning after a long hiatus. He better be here. I'm going to be fighting that man if he isn't. But yes, love you guys. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm rambling now. Have a great Friday. Let's go. Kick its ass.
This verse